Good afternoon. This is Media Center Ukraine Odessa, and we are starting our working day. And today we continue to talk about volunteer activities, in particular about Ukraineaidmanual. And our guests for today are Oleksandr Babich and Oleksiy Biletskyi. Oleksandr, the floor is yours. Good afternoon. Today we're here to present our new project. We call it Ukraineaidmanual. Just briefly about the project. That was the need that we felt when we became active volunteers. At some point, we felt that we are well aware about some part of volunteer activities, but we don't have enough knowledge and expertise when it came to other needs of our military. And back then, we started accumulating expertise and knowledge. We had 9 experts in our team, and every person was responsible for a separate area of activities. That's how the information was collected. Then we received requests from our military and corrected our activity. And then we found the target audience. So the first category are women who stay at home, whose husband joined the armed forces of Ukraine. And like ordinary Ukrainian women are not aware of what blade carrier is or what a multi-tool is, and it's okay. That's why we have decided to prepare some short recommendations about where to buy some pieces of equipment or devices and what are the best and what prices are the best. One more target audience are, so to say, amateur volunteers or volunteers who are experts in one area, but those who started receiving requests from military from other areas. For example, they could be great at tactic medicine, but they know nothing about optical devices. Oleksiy, the floor is yours. There is one important point. When we started dealing with military volunteering, we were from Kherson. We left occupied Kherson. We were well aware of civil volunteering, but we knew nothing about, for example, optical devices. And back then we discussed that we lack a manual for volunteers to understand how to do everything properly. Step by step, we accumulated experience, we communicated with the military, and now we have proper expertise. We believe that it is important to share this information for today and for the future, for volunteers, for relatives, for wives to be able to help their soldiers. When we started monitoring the information environment, Mykola Holik, who is a coordinator of the project, understood that there is no such product in the world, not only in Ukraine or on the post-Soviet territories. This is due to the fact that volunteering as a phenomenon, as it has been implemented in Ukraine since 2014, is unique, and we have unique experience of volunteering in our country. That's why we are pioneers in this area. Nothing has done anything like that before. Is this needed? Yes, it is. And We made a small manual when we were still in the occupied Kherson. We developed a manual to identify the enemy's military equipment, because locals provided information to our military, like saying that we can see some green vehicle, but that information was not enough. That's why we developed a manual for citizens of Kherson to be more skilled in identifying enemy's military equipment. And now we have Ukraineaidmanual, and we understand that this will be of high demand among Ukrainians. I have a question to you. Do experts plan to update the manual? Because I and many people and I saw the increased number of suppliers and manufacturers of military equipment. That's why I believe that this information should be regularly updated. Thank you for the question. Yes, we understand that sometime the information can become outdated. In every article, we provide information about the manufacturers that we recommend and the current price. As for the price, it was quite easy for us to identify this. So we defined some average price for military goods. And if the price is too low, then the equipment was of poor quality, for example. So that's how we defined the price. As for the manufacturers or the shops where the equipment could be bought, we provide information about 2 Ukrainian ones, 1 European, and 1 from the United States. This information is needed for volunteers who work in Europe or in the United States. And in our manual, you can find information about reliable suppliers with proper reputation. As for the content of the manual, of course, we plan to continue accumulating our knowledge. There are around 140 articles in our manual. And there can be some complicated items for drone operators, for snipers, but we don't think that this information is needed for a wide range of volunteers. At the moment, we continue updating our manual. We're not going to stop now. And on our website, we do not only provide the specific recommendations with regard to specific models, we'll also provide background information for our audience to have more expertise in a certain area. If we ask 10 soldiers about servicemen about a specific model of the specific item, they can offer 10, 9, or 8 personal opinions, because all of them have their own tasks. That's why on our website we say that it is very important to identify what is needed for our servicemen, and then we provide information about different models. Are there any questions from the floor? I have an online question now. The journalist asks if this is an interactive project. Can people address to the representatives of the project to get advice? If it is so, then what the experts could do if the questions will be asked by Russians? Great question, thank you. And this project is interactive because you can access our website and navigate for the information on our website. You cannot ask online our experts. Now we accumulate texts, photos, videos for people to be able to find useful information on the website. There is also one more section on our website, the blog part, and people will be able to leave their questions there. As for Russians, the resource is open. They also have volunteers there. Also, the volunteering is not as well developed as in Ukraine, and I communicated with some Russians, and I tried to identify how many volunteers they have there. So in Ukraine, 70% of Ukrainian citizens are involved in volunteering, including some old ladies who needed socks. In Russia, it is around 5% of the whole population, so the trends there are different. If we have time, I can explain the reason. And they don't have the information that this is a full-scale war. And that's why most Russians believe that this is none of their business, that the state should provide anything which the army needs. And this is the information provided by the Russian. So, like in some Buryatia or Mordva, people don't have money to become volunteers, and they cannot even donate 100 rubles. So the situation is different there. Yes, we understand that perhaps the Russians can get access to our website, but our website is in two languages, Ukrainian and English. So this narrows our audience. But why should we discuss Russians now? Thank you. Are there any other questions? Please don't forget to use the mic. Alena Milova, Prami channel. Can you please tell us, is this manual an aggregation of your experience, or is it due to the fact that the military could not get aid which was expected? This is not only our experience. We cannot be experts in everything. We cannot fully understand all the equipment needed. But last summer, every day with these hands, we provided clothes to 50, 70 servicemen. So we gave clothes with our own hand. And we got feedback from them. Then we got reports and we received their feedback about different items. They could say to us that one item was okay, but the other one was of poor quality and it was not needed. So we were in constant consultation with our military. This is not only about our volunteer group. We involved other volunteer organizations who were focused on specific items, like the volunteers who dealt with the radio connection and with quite specific military items, where people should be aware of some technical issues like megahertz. And for example, I am a person that does not have such expertise. So we are like 95% sure about our advice. Thank you very much for the question. It is very important. Our expertise and our resource is based not only on our experience, but on the experience of our military. Of course, we have not accumulated all these stories, but there are two things I would like to emphasize. Usually, the relatives cannot help their servicemen because they don't know what is needed and where to find this. And here we have two more issues. Quite often, the military is not able to get aid of the proper quality, so the money is spent and they usually wait for 2-3 weeks, but the item is different. And there can be other situations when people buy something which is excessive for the military. That's why our main task was to ensure proper aid for proper money. Thank you. Are there any other questions? No. In this case, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being here, sharing details about your project. We hope that this project will increase awareness of relatives, journalists, and the military. Please follow our announcements and stay tuned.